Hi, people of the internet. This is Awkward Academy, and here we are with our weekly, not always, but apparently almost
We're
becoming,
trying.
weekly game gab. Okay. My co-host today is going to be Justin, also known as Reverend Smitty.
I really say today as if like I won't always be here, even though I film and edit everything. Like I have to be here.
He's the crucial the pillar that holds this entire thing. And also, he's known as Mr. Shaved Sides. It's very good.
I need to get a touch up. It's getting kind of long now. Like
Nah, you're beautiful.
it's all fuzzy. I feel like a porcupine. I need to call my sister. And he
And
is
I'm
Hooey,
Louie, also known as Captain Virgin. Okay?
also known as White Buffalo.
There are other names that you do not know. But,
So powerful. If you were to know them, your eyes would jump out of your head.
alright. To the topic. Today we are going to be listing our Reboot, Remaster, and Remove.
Oh shit! I forgot to have the remove.
Your Reboot?
You go first.
The Reboot is going to be the classic game you'd like to see redone. The Remaster will be the classic game you'd like to see touched up graphically. Or control-wise, I guess, ported to a new system. Would still be a remaster. And then the last one is going to be the game series you wish would end.
Oh, I got my remove.
I'm not looking, but I'm gonna guess it's Assassin's Creed.
No, I'm quite looking forward to the new ones coming out since they're supposed to be rejuvenating. That could have been another one, rejuvenate.
Oh.
Like just to completely overhaul something without it being a reboot. Just to breathe some new life into it.
Oh, that would have been a good one, too.
Too late.
Yep. Yeah. Alright,
You want to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 for each one?
that does make sense.
Alright.
Okay, kicking off with Reboot. Okay, I was actually torn on this one between Legend of Legaia and Legend of Dragoon. Okay, both of which are two Japanese-produced games that were released on the PlayStation 1. Okay, and both of them are a classic top-down, like, you know, RPG style, very heavy, but both of them incorporated really new elements that, like, defined the genre that were really weird and unusual that no one had really seen happen before.
You're always talking about the tree. Legend
Yes.
of Legaia.
The most important part of Legend of Legaia are trees. It's like an encouraging mist, and you like rejuvenate a tree by beating bosses and stuff, and the mist gets pushed back, and now a new area is like not full of
And
monsters.
for those that don't know, what system did these two games come out on?
I said PlayStation 1.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
Oh, okay. So, hopefully you are. They both came out on PlayStation 1. Both not the best graphics for its time, I guess. But they were just amazing. And I know there's a lot of people looking forward to reboots of Legend of Dragoon. Not that it's ever going to happen. Okay?
I've never played either.
Yeah, he's missed out. And you can't convince him to play it more. Personally, like, I wouldn't want to play them again, aside from for nostalgia's sake.
It's hard going back that far. Like, games just don't age well.
Yeah, KOTOR 2, okay, perfect game. One of the greatest games. Like, I love that game. I spent so many hours on that game.
It's good, but it's not perfect.
Okay, it was so good, but like I feel like I could not play another KOTOR 2. If they continued the KOTOR series, they would have to change the gameplay.
Yeah.
I've moved beyond this.
I hate turn-based combat.
All right.
My reboot is Prince of Persia. So
Time?
I do like the first Prince more than the one that came out in the, what was it, GameCube?
360.
360, I guess.
Yeah, there was the
Didn't
cell
look
shaded
like it.
one.
That's the right one. I didn't think it was a 360 based on its graphics, though. But it's hard to tell with cell shades. It looked a lot like Wind Waker, which came out on the GameCube.
Yeah.
So that one, I didn't really care for it. You got the scarf and the metal hand. And,
Claw was cool.
yeah.
I didn't like the fact that they went for the T rating. That sucked.
Well, I mean, Sands of Time was T-rated, too. And it was awesome. Anyway, Prince of Persia, those that haven't played it. It used to be an old 2D platformer back in the original Nintendo, I believe. And then it became PlayStation 2, like a adventure platformer puzzle game. And the draw of it was, in addition to your sword fighting, and your badass acrobatics, like running on walls and doing flips, was your time powers. You could stab someone to pause time, or you could rewind time if you die, and all kinds of cool stuff.
Don't listen to him. Two Thrones is the best Prince of Persia.
No.
Yep.
Warrior Within was the best Prince of Persia. So the first one, T rating, had good combat, but definitely focused more on like the puzzle and exploring. Warrior Within went to the M rating, went way deeper into combat. You could pick up, weapons from enemies. You could throw weapons. You could dual wield weapons. I believe it's the first one that introduced like stealth kills, and then Two Thrones introduced like assassinations because your dagger was your main weapon instead of a sword, which was stupid.
And you got the dagger tail whenever you went all dark side and shit. Had kind of a Jack and Daxter feel, which would have actually been my reboot on here. Had I played more of this series and been able to elaborate more on it, because I really wanted to play number 3, but it was amazing.
Warrior Within was way cooler, man. The Dahaka chases, so good. It's like this gigantic monster constantly following you, and you're just running along walls and doing all this complicated platforming, and if you fuck up, like, he gets you and you're dead. And then they had this crappy 360, I guess, like, offshoot with a different prince and totally different story. And then they had one with the elements.
That was just awful.
It was the original Prince that we all know and love.
It's not good. He lost his time powers. Yeah. And it was,
So I want to bring that one back, put it on the Assassin's Creed engine, let it control like Assassin's Creed, but better. And then the time powers and a tighter narrative instead of the big open world, run around, do all this shit, but half of it's hidden behind Uplay doors. It'd be awesome.
Fun fact, the Assassin's Creed that was cel-shaded was actually a modified version, or not the Assassin's Creed, the Prince of Persia that was cel-shaded was a modified version of the Assassin's Creed engine, and they even had one of the Assassin's Creed pillars uncel-shaded in the game, like sticking out from the side of a building, like straight rip, and if you went out on it and jumped off, you'd land and it was like you were expecting a hay bale as an achievement.
It was vested the pop-up, yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Sucks they made it ugly with the cel-shaded shit, though.
Yeah. So, remaster. I went with Super Mario 64. Okay? That game stole a lot of hours of my life. And I feel like, as far as gameplay is concerned, it really did not have a lot that I didn't like. I mean, you could just fix the graphics on the game, and I would still enjoy the gameplay drastically. The graphics were amazing for the time. And the scale was awesome. The entire castle was your stomping ground. Roof included. I think it'd be amazing. Like, especially the sunken ship levels and, like, new redone graphics. Stuff like that. Constant replay value, trying for completion.
And it did have a soft remaster on the DS, which did look better, but still not good. I actually have it somewhere around here. The cool thing about the remaster on DS was that it also introduced more playable characters. Yeah, that would be really cool. It was like the first fully three-dimensional video game, and
rotate the camera.
And it led the path for Ocarina of Time, which just happens to be my remaster.
I thought they were already remastering Ocarina of Time.
So they did a soft remaster of it on the 3DS. Looks good, but not good, right? I want a true HD remaster of Ocarina of Time. And the best or closest thing we've gotten to that is a fan-made in Unreal Engine 4, but he's only done specific parts of the map. It's not actually like a whole game at all. So, obviously I doubt it's going to be an Unreal Engine. Nintendo tends to go more proprietary with their stuff, especially with the first-party studio. But if we could at least get it in 1080p, just give us full, true 1080p HD. 60 frames a second would be even better, but you don't need it. It's not a first-person shooter. I'm assuming like how beautiful boss battles would be.
Smooth as hell.
I mean, my God, man. I've been having so much fun in that game. It's frustrating as all hell too, but like, there's so many cool-looking locations that I'd love just to see redone with new art assets.
It'd be interesting to see Ocarina of Time go to 1080p when Breath of the Wild isn't.
Yeah. But I would expect that though, because like it's not a big ass open world like Breath of the Wild. So that's mine.
All right.
For sure.
And my last one for remove, I'm gonna catch hate, is going to be Final Fantasy. Okay? Needs to stop. Like,
There's nothing final about it.
so many. Again and again and again and again. I played 12 briefly. Okay? Got maybe... I gave it its fair chance. I got a fair ways into that game. And then it just persistently just... Where's the narrative? What are you doing here?
15 got good reviews though. The newest one. I played the platinum demo for it, and it was alright. It was fun.
I think it's slowly been getting Americanized.
Oh, for sure. Definitely.
Understand, like, playably. So, like, I legitimately think that Lost Odyssey was probably a better game, and by the same producers, probably same engine, but it was probably a better game than a fair number of the newer Final Fantasies, and that game wasn't great.
Yeah, you can tell from it and Breath of the Wild that Japanese developers are definitely becoming more Americanized. Looking at what, you know, American developers like Bethesda have been doing, because Japanese game sales have been plummeting for years, except for very specific titles like Persona, which are JRPGs that people just absolutely adore. But yeah, I think there's too many Final Fantasies. There's too many side branches, and Final Fantasy 15 was supposed to be Final Fantasy 13 Versus, I think. And then it got, what's the word? Like they held it back and delayed it for like 5 years.
That and the series has just been going non-stop, okay? Like, Final Fantasy 7 came out when we were like 5, right?
Something like that.
Like,
PlayStation 1.
a long run. And they've just been cranking that shit out.
We need to get Tetsuya Nomura, like, you know, one of the designers, and the other guys working on it, to stop and finish Kingdom Hearts 3. God. Man, when number 2 came out, we were in middle school.
And then
We're 24 now. I've been waiting like half my life for this game.
Remember that little, like, sneak peek they had, like, I think for the next Kingdom Hearts game at the end of 2?
They've already released teaser trailers for Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, with gameplay. We know it exists. We've seen it.
Why isn't it, like, out?
Because the director of that game was also the director of Final Fantasy 15.
But by the time, like, he gets back to working on it, all of his assets will be generationally backwards.
I don't know, man. It was a beautiful looking game. It looks like watercolor, but like sharper and more HD looking than Breath of the Wild. My remove game that needs to stop happening is Metal Gear Solid. I love the series. I beat 1, 2, 3, and 5. Never had a PlayStation 3 to beat number 4 because it's expensive as hell. Never had a PSP to beat the side ones like Acid or Peace Walker. But like, I played this series since I was a kid. Awesome stories that make no sense. Hideo Kojima is like a mad genius. And then Kojima got treated like shit by Konami. You know, like they didn't let him go to the award ceremony. They took his name off the game case because they were having so many disputes. He's contractually obligated to not talk about it, even though he doesn't work there anymore. So it kind of became this whole movement. You know, they got a hashtag going called Fuck Konami. And then that same year, right after Phantom Pain, I think it was E3, Konami released a trailer for Metal Gear Survive, which is like a zombies but not actually zombies survival game set in like an alternate reality of Metal Gear. And it's like, come on, they're just abusing the name Metal Gear. Kojima, the creator, is not even there anymore. Like, they're just trying to milk what he made to get as much money making bullshit games now.
Yeah, and he's off partying around with Norman Reedus now.
Yep, Death Stranding looks pretty cool.
Yep. Of course, I mean, if it's really just directed a lot by Kojima, I love his directing style.
Have you seen the latest trailers for Death Stranding?
I have not.
It's got a lot of his same, like, classic, you know, panning camera, and then that looks around and follows the character as they move. It looks pretty cool.
Like, and some of his shots are just like beautiful. Castlevania, Lords of Shadow, so good. Greatest game that came out in that Xbox 360. Done.
Nope.
Yep. Nope. Every way. Every single room was like drawn. Zero repetition.
BioShock or Fallout 3 would be my two. One of those two, for sure.
Each their
We can do that topic next week. Best game of last generation. That's what we'll do. Sign us off, host.
Alrighty. This is us signing off, as he says. Hope you learned a lot. Hope we had this great discussion. Sorry for all the dead air. You guys have a wonderful day. You can catch me at Twitter at Captain_Virgin. This guy is going to be at Reverend Schmitty.
And I'll have things pop up so you can know how to spell it.
Yeah, best of luck. It took me a long time.
TJ always puts a C in there, like SCH, MIDI.
I can understand that, like Schmidt.
I don't like it.
No, have a Schmitty night.
Bye.